Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Go Live series of the Follow Our Journey through the Radical Remission Coach Training. In case this is the first time you're watching us, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Cheryl.
Over the past 3 weeks, we've been sharing our preparation for this Radical Remission Coach Training course. We've discussed our backgrounds and motivations for doing this, the books Radical Remission and Radical Hope, and the online Radical Remission course that's available for everyone. This week is special. All weeks are special. Every day is special. Every moment is. But this week, we are excited to be here because we finally began this long awaited Radical Remission Coach Training. This is their first training since I think 2019. And I know I'd mentioned this before, but I had been on a wait list personally for 2 years. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. So we are so excited to be here with you today and to have started our course to learn how to really practically utilize these radical mission factors researched by Dr. Turner in coaching and to learn how to facilitate these radical mission workshops. So today we're going to discuss our experience from this first week of this coach training and do a deeper dive as to what coaching is.
Yeah, the first word that comes to me from today is just wow. Today was unbelievable, even better than I was anticipating. I absolutely love how passionate Dr. Kelly Turner is about this material, and it just shows in every way how much this means to her. And it was such an honor meeting her today, as well as all of the other individuals that are there for training too. It was unbelievable. So this course is so well done that I cannot wait to teach it. I appreciate the thoughtfulness and the thoroughness that went into creating it. The structure that she provides in this course is so wonderful. It's really easy to follow, very informative. So just to give everyone else who's not in the course a little background, before we start each live session through the training, which is every Friday before we go live with you, we have pre-work release the week before, which consists of multiple modules. And each module, we review the information that we learn in the book and learn the best way to teach that, different nuances of teaching. And that's another thing I like about the structure of the course is there's a lot of mindfulness, a lot of importance placed on the mindfulness of what you're posting and what you're branding through Radical Remission. But, you know, Jessica and I feel that this is extremely important in our own businesses too. So we relate a lot to this. And we think it's important because when you see that somebody is doing a radical remission workshop or is a radical remission coach, you know that there is a high quality, you're going to get a high quality opportunity. There's high standards that need to be met in order to do this training. And I appreciate that very much.
I agree and appreciate it as well. And just, you know, we talked about this before, the credibility of this work, how it started with this question, like, why is radical mission even happening? From one person, Dr. Kelly Turner. And then it turned into research and a whole PhD thesis. And then now these books and everything that's unfolding. And so it's the science, right? The science is there in the real life experience. This is real truth from real people. And so it's beautiful to watch this unfold. And, you know, even just after going through this first week, I I felt this like awesome sense of responsibility. Using the word awesome in the sense that I really had the sensation of awe, of learning the nuances to be able to, you know, coach or lead workshops for people who have cancer and anyone going through a disease, anyone looking to enhance their health, but in a way that is really emphasizes delivering unbiased, evidence-based information to meet everyone where they're at. And it's that same sense of awesomeness and responsibility that I felt, you know, as a physician caring for patients, to really have to like look at yourself almost as if you're standing outside of yourself to filter out your own biases and beliefs and still figure out how to embrace someone universally, how to accept them for who they are, to meet them where they're at without judgment and to facilitate an environment of healing. And so I'm always up for trainings like this or to learn from anyone, especially someone like Dr. Turner who's done this her whole life. Um, so it's just, I mean, the last 15, however many years she's been doing this. But it's just that's the awesomeness that I also felt in medicine, just the humility of being around anyone, any healer who's really been able to touch lives of people who need them the most. And so it's very humbling to be in this setting. And I just, always pray not to do harm, right? And to move forward with the intention to help and to heal.
Yeah, you said that so beautifully. You brought up a lot of really good points. I think the evidence-based science behind these factors is so important. And when we were in one of our breakout rooms, we were talking about this, and I feel like this course really puts the science behind what some might consider woo-woo, people might not know that there is evidence-based science behind releasing suppressed emotions. So it is an honor to be somebody who gets to share that information with others, to get it out there. And I'm grateful that Dr. Kelly Turner could do these trainings herself. She has just done these training herself, but she is opening up and sharing this with others so that others can continue to share, and we can reach so many more people this way. And I think it's beautiful, and I'm honored to be a part of that. So we wanted to talk about what coaching is and what they do. I know as I transitioned from being a holistic oncology nurse to becoming a holistic health and wellness coach, I had a lot of questions like, what are you doing? Why did you leave this job to, this great job to come be a coach? Like, there was a lot of misunderstanding behind it. So there is an organization, the National Board of Health and Wellness, and I want to share their definition of a coach. I'm going to read it. It's right from their website. They say that health and wellness coaches partner with clients seeking self-directed, lasting changes aligned with their values, which promote health and wellness and thereby enhance well-being. In the course of their work, health and wellness coaches display unconditional positive regard for their clients and a belief in their capacity for change, and honoring that each client is an expert on his or her life while ensuring that all interactions are respectful and non-judgmental. What a beautiful definition.
Yeah, I just really want to pause and acknowledge that statement, that last line that you read, that unconditional positive regard, and honoring each client. It, I mean, that ideally, in an ideal world, should be the interactions we have with everyone. It should be, how we just communicate with each other as human beings. And so I love that about coaching. It aligned with me completely, especially across industry, regardless of what education, there's always this teacher student, which there needs to be. Teacher has knowledge that they're imparting to a student. Or as you want to progress along a career, there's a mentor and a mentee. And in medicine, always there's a hierarchy in medicine, or at least a traditional hierarchy in medicine, where you're learning, right? It's experience. You learn from those who have more experience. But I love this was like revolutionary to me, where every interaction you're going to, the person you're talking to is the expert. And that's so true. There's a role for mentorship, a role for teachers. Everything is important, but there is such a role of going into every relationship, every interaction this way. And I mean, that's one of the things I love about coaching. And, Cheryl, you were talking about your transition from nursing to coaching, or for me, it's from, you know, practicing as an emergency medicine physician and transitioning to wellness. In this work, it's different than healthcare providers because we're not advising, we're not treating, we're not giving any medical advice, but we are using just sharing knowledge, education that anyone can use and utilize to help regardless of their walks of life. And so the International Coaching Federation is another really large coaching credentialing body, and they have a really beautiful definition of coaching as well, which basically, and this is off their website too, they define coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. And basically, this process unlocks previously untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership. And so, I love a relationship like that. I love something like that all along. And that's the goal, right? We're here to partner with each other and to share and to grow and to nurture that wholeness from within. And so it's wonderful to get exposed to this type of knowledge and to share.
Yeah, I agree. It was a beautiful transition going from nursing to coaching, and but not an easy one, because as a nurse or a healthcare provider, we're fixers. Someone comes in, or at least we feel like we need to be fixers. Someone comes in, we're taught to be fixers. Someone comes in, they have this problem, we need to help them. We need to fix it, and we're supposed to have the solution. As a coach, it's very humbling to know that and honor the fact that everyone is their own expert. They have the best answers for themselves within themselves. And so now all we have to do is sit back, appreciate them, love them, and help them evoke their inner knowledge that they already have, and help to empower them so that they can make these lasting changes or whatever their goal may be. So it's nice to really appreciate the expertise that everyone brings to the table. It's you're the expert in yourself, and I get to learn more about that. So we continue to learn in each session or interaction as well as a coach, and it's very humbling and rewarding. But it was an interesting transition.
It's You explained that so beautifully, and one of the things that I just wanted to, when you have that fixing mentality, like you mentioned that we have in healthcare, it brings about with it a sense of emotions. And even as you were just talking right now, like I felt where you're coming from in my body, like this, I have to fix and figure out. But then when you transition into like that humility and like loving and honoring, there's like this calmness in your voice and like this relaxation. And you feel that as a coach, right? That humility.
Mhm.
So it's so funny that even just talking about this stuff, you can feel like in coaching, you feel someone else's experience when you're present with them. And I felt that when you were talking about the difference between the two just now. So I completely agree with you. And, you know, these coaching definitions we read from these coaching bodies, there are many organizations that certify coaches. And I am a national board certified health and wellness coach, and I'm in the process of undergoing ICF. And Cheryl and I are both in this process, right, of doing radical remission. But the purpose is that for coaching, you can be a coach, you don't need a certificate, right? Although there are nuances in coaching that I fully support training. If you're going to say you're going to be a coach, at least to know how to do it. And to do it with certain standards. And so, as this field of coaching is growing for credibility, there is a lot of value in becoming credentialed in whichever organization you choose just as a coach. And so it's amazing. This happens to be like the 5-year anniversary of the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaches, actually. So congratulations to them. It's amazing because it's sponsored by the National Board of Medical Examiners. So it's really nice to have this work grow, and that's how systems change. And it's also exciting. So this coach training program, there's actually been a rising demand for coaches, right? For health and wellness coaches. And especially as there's more awareness about radical remission coaches. And it's just a reflection, right, of the increase in awareness of all this. And so it's exciting because I know Dr. Turner is preparing for a radical remission docuseries too, which should be super powerful. And you can learn more about it by going to the Radical Remission website. But it's so nice to learn how to be a part of it as this is growing and to be a part of this beautiful movement.
Yeah, I completely agree. When you're approaching someone as a radical remission, like certified coach or workshop facilitator, or you are going to work with somebody who is credentialed in ICF, MBHWC, and there's another one called AHNCC, which certifies holistic coaching nurses specifically. And when you are working with somebody who has these credentials, there is a certain high standard. Like, like I had mentioned at the beginning with Radical Remissions, there are certain ethical guidelines that members of these organizations and those who are credentialed by these organizations need to follow. So we do recommend, when going to research a coach to work with, to see if they have any of these credentials, or at least minimally members of these organizations, or working on their path to accreditation. And also, an important thing to do when looking for a coach is get to know them a little bit, see them on social media, check out their website, send them an email. Like, just, I think a big part of coaching, there's so many coaches and so many options. It's important, and it's absolutely possible to find one that meshes well with your personality. And then also the topic that you're hoping to be coached on, because there are coaches in everything right now.
Yeah, it's amazing that I'm glad you brought that up, actually, about the topic too, because there's holistic coaching, health and wellness coaching, there's lifestyle coaching, there's so many types of coaches. I know there's handstand coaching, there's like everything, and it really depends on what you're working for. So then again, just finding out and having that alignment that the person you're working with is someone who can facilitate that space and get you to where you want to go. And the beauty with coaching is often we don't know where we're going. We think we're going one place and then multiple places happen, and that's just how it works. So just allowing space for that. And, we're super excited because at the end of this training in November, well, hopefully in November, if we can get everything done on time, we will be certified radical remission coaches and be able to start facilitating workshops, which is really exciting on a global level. And that's the other thing I forgot to mention. So in this training, there are people from all over the world. So it's just so much. It's like, even though it's a Zoom, it's like an international connection. It's so beautiful.
Totally. That was my biggest takeaway from today, was connecting. I think they said 12 different countries. There are people from 12 different countries in this training. And what an honor to be there with them, from all different backgrounds, not only locations, but trainings and the reasons why they're here. It was so nice to hear that today. And oh, I just love it. Sorry. I was just thinking about the interactions that I had today. And there were people that showed up today. What dedication and compassion from, I think I saw Japan, definitely New Zealand and Australia. What an honor to work with people who are so dedicated. It was the middle of the night for them, and they still showed up. And they don't have to. These are recorded, so they don't have to do that. And it was an honor to share that space with them today. I think another reason we didn't mention yet that I wanted to bring up before we close is a reason why we did this radical remission training when we really didn't need any more trainings right at this time, but it just felt so aligned with what we are doing, because it takes our coaching practice, our health and wellness coaching practice, and our allopathic medicine training, and it combines them so beautifully with the evidence-based woo-woo type things. It combines everything, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. It's always about, or at least taking the best of what everything has to offer. And allopathic medicine has so much to offer, but so do all these holistic, evidence-based methods of healing that are very important to know. And I feel fortunate. I feel very blessed to know this knowledge, because some people go their whole life searching and they don't have exposure to it. So it really feels like a privilege and an honor. And that's why we're here sharing this, just to enhance awareness with lots of humility on top of so many people who have done so much work just to help share what's out there. And I know, Cheryl, you had mentioned your takeaway was the global connection. For me too, today was so exciting because Dr. Kelly Turner herself led the first session, and just to meet her, and it was just, her energy and then the energy of everyone there. And each week they also have certified radical mission coaches teaching too, and they have so much wisdom and knowledge to offer. So I think Cheryl and I are both still very elevated from the energy that we've had and the connections that we're going to form. So we're really excited to share this with you.
Most definitely. So we will continue to share this with you. every Friday. The timings will change now that we're in our training because we have our trainings at different times to accommodate everyone that's joining us from around the world in the training. So they will change. So just be alert to our social media. We will announce those times ahead of time. And yeah, anything else, Jessica?
Oh, no, we'd love to see you next time. You've
Yeah,
got everything, and we'd love to hear from you. I know we made a
love
lot
it.
of friends today, so if you're in this coaching training, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear you, see you, and if once again, just share your feedback on this if you've had experience with radical missions.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.